Je suis enchanté. Où est la bibliothèque?
Hey there, movie nerds. Abby here.
Elliot here.
And I'm going to eat some pizza while we do this, because I like pizza.
This is Abby's performance art piece.
That's so good.
Eats pizza as vlogs.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a real hit around Kansas. I'm not sure you've been able to see it, but staying in room only. Really hot stuff.
Wheat steak.
Wheat steak pizza. Delicious.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
But I think we should probably get to the matter at hand.
You're right.
Okay. No. Keep eating.
Okay.
Keep eating.
Okay.
Enjoy yourself. But we are here to discuss the French thriller Tell No One.
Which, by the way, you should tell everyone about.
Please.
Because it's amazing. It's a really, really good movie. Very tight, very well directed and well put together, but it's kind of flown under the radar, so it really deserves all the attention it can get.
The film, which stars a number of notable French actors and actresses.
And one British actress.
And one British actress, which we'll get to, centers around the story of Alex, played by Francois Cluzet, I believe is how you pronounce it.
We call him the French Dustin Hoffman.
Because looking at the dude, a younger Dustin Hoffman.
Absolutely.
I think he probably could have doubled for him at certain points.
Mm-hmm. So. A few years ago, he could have been the French stunt double in The Graduate. Were there stunts in The Graduate?
There should have been.
Yes, there should have been.
But anyway, Cluzet plays Alex, who is a doctor, and the entire story sort of generates from this one evening where he and his wife, Margot, go out to their lake. They have a lake house, I believe, and she is abducted. And then we find out later that she is killed. He's, of course, knocked unconscious so that he can't do a thing. Mm-hmm. And then 8 years later, after the incident, he suddenly gets an email.
Boom.
Claiming to be his wife, claiming to basically have come back from the grave, and begging him to be careful and to not tell anybody what's going on. And then over the course of the film, there are murders, there's corruption, there's lying, there are naked French people, and
lots of naked French people.
Lots of naked French people.
They like to take off their
They
clothes.
do. They actually don't like to put them on in the first place, I think.
Yeah, this is true.
But anyway, moral of the story is Alex is searching for his wife and hopefully validating the fact that she's still alive and that he's not just a crazy obsessed man. Mm-hmm. So I thought Abby, top to bottom, it was a great movie and an awesome cast.
Definitely. Very well put together. One particularly cool thing is Kristin Scott Thomas, the appearance of Kristin Scott Thomas, who is, in fact, a British actress and has been in a lot of really cool movies, such as The English Patient. You may remember her from that.
Or from Mission Impossible 1.
Yes, from
She
Mission
was in
Impossible
it for
1.
like 5 minutes.
That's right. But she's actually a very, very cool and very well-recognized British actress, and apparently can act in French films just as well.
Really convincingly.
She does a very good job in this, speaks French just as well as a native person might. And also, she's in a movie called I've Loved You So Long, which has been getting a lot of awards buzz and a lot of good news from the critics. That's also in French, and she has a lead role in that, which is pretty interesting. I know
Maybe she's going to defect.
Maybe. I don't know. This time next year, she may only be doing French films.
She might pull a Johnny Depp, just move to France.
Crazy.
She might. But also, the cast is rounded out. I interestingly found that the father-in-law of Alex, a character who is very brooding and interesting and dark, and I would say he's sort of demonized. He's got a lot of stuff to deal with.
Yeah.
The actor is actually the actor who narrates the entirety of Amelie. Listening to him throughout the movie, I'm like, his voice sounds so familiar. I don't know what it is. And then finally, it just all of a sudden hit me. He narrates Amelie. So all of the lovely little tales and random sayings that, you got from watching that, I would say it's an indie film staple at this point.
Yeah, you kind of, I don't know. Actually, what's funny, another link between this, is that I kind of think of this movie as sort of this year's Amelie, because I know that when Amelie came out, it was a big art house hit and kind of started slowly gaining popularity through word of mouth, which I think is kind of what's been happening to this film, although not quite as quickly.
Sure.
So it's kind of got the same situation going for it. So if you like your French art house movies and if you like your thrillers, you should watch this for sure.
Absolutely. Although, by the same token, I would sort of say it's the anti-Amelie. It's a lot more...
It's not a fairy tale.
It's not a fairy tale. It's not terribly positive. I mean, it's much more grounded in reality. Mm-hmm. And in certain instances, it's pretty damn macabre.
It is. Oh, gosh. Some of it is...
Some of it's really hard to watch, but, thus is the life of a movie critic having to deal with blood and guts and things
Definitely.
of that nature.
And it's not nearly as hard to watch as Changeling was, so
Not
there
nearly.
You go.
Not nearly. Abby, personally, when I was watching this film, I really was sort of stunned by the way that it was presented because I'm used to the American style of mystery films where clue X leads to clue Y, leads to clue Z, leads to, conclusion A,
Right.
where everything is sort of explained. And in this film, I felt that the explanations and the understanding of everything was a lot more sparse.
Yeah, I'd say so. The action was kind of few and far between, but when it came, it
Walloped.
so it was kind of a really cool, refreshing take on that. I thought there was a lot of talk, a lot of discussion, a lot of interesting points, and then all of a sudden, bam! Jumps out a window, runs down the street, crosses a highway, trying to get away from the police. Crazy.
That is one of the coolest scenes I've ever seen.
That was about the point where I looked at it and went, "This is one of the best movies I've seen all year long."
Like a pediatrician, quiet, mild-mannered guy, all of a sudden pulling some sort of,
It was Bourne-like.
It was Bourne-like. It was Bourne-like / Bond-like / Alias-like.
Yeah.
Just very like heisty, spy-y sort of a deal, and it was one of the most, underproduced yet stunning action sequences I've ever seen.
Yeah.
No CGI. All real car smash-ups. I loved it.
I love the fact that it all seemed very realistic and logical and seemed to have kind of a natural progression. So it's sort of a different kind of thriller. It's not your Bond or your Jason Bourne where it's like, super violent and like thrill a minute. But if you're willing to sit Sexy sweaters.
I'm sorry, he doesn't wear any sexy sweaters, whereas
No.
Bond and Bourne both wear.
This is
sweaters.
true. There's a lack of sexy sweaters in this.
That's how you know it's French.
But if you like your sexy Oxfords, there's plenty of those. And if you like your thrills to be more cerebral, if you like your mystery movies where you have to give it some thought. And if you like those aha moments where all of the suspense that's been building up and all the questions you have are answered in a very crazy, sudden moment that make you go, whoa, and at the same time, oh, which is a moment in films that I tend to live for, this is definitely a movie that you will enjoy.
Of course, if you're looking for a thriller and a suspense film that is also convincing as a love story.
Oh my gosh, yes.
This is the first film that I've ever really felt does that. I mean, you have the first 10 minutes in other films where they're like, oh, he's in love with her, that makes sense, and all of a sudden she's dead and he's on some sort of revenge trip.
Yeah.
This is a much more convincing love story than any of those, and I know you've seen dozens.
And the last scene is just, oh my gosh, it's wonderful and heartbreaking and very, very, very sweet. So there is a payoff. And it's definitely worth waiting for.
We're not going to tell you what it is, though.
Don't want to ruin it for you because you have to go see this movie.
And then tell everyone. All right, so for the two awesome movie nerds, I'm Elliot.
I'm Abby.
Go forth and watch.
And this is my pizza.
This is her pizza. Gotta love it.